Yo, we got a video here today, and we're going to be breaking down a couple of clips from this British lass. Let's get right into it.
Girls, please send your husbands and boyfriends my way. I really need them to help break this world record of being with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, I've just pinned the poster on how to apply, so please send them my way.
There you go. Send them your way, ladies, husbands, boyfriends. She's got to break a record, all right? I don't know if people remember growing up. I mean, how many touchdowns can you throw? How fast can you run a 100-meter sprint? How high can you jump? You know, now we get into 2024 and the ladies, you know what our record they're trying to break is how much back can they get blown out in a 24-hour time span. And apparently that number's 1,000. And even though she was struggling on 100, she's still ready to go for that record. Why not?
Are you still planning to do what I've called the 1,000 man challenge?
The man challenge, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, so my assistant's currently going through the 5,000 applications we have.
That won't get talked about too much, is that there's a team behind this, pulling the strings, you know, making these deals. I mean, what, you think she's got time to look at 5,000 applicants? She's just got time to lay on her back and take some.
Be getting, honestly, as quick as possible, in, out. I just want a conveyor belt. We're maybe thinking most, it'll be 17 hours.
So I saw the video of after you did the 100.
Yeah.
And you actually seemed quite distressed.
It's very stressful. I was extremely overwhelmed. A super long, hard, stressful day. And then a camera crew probing me with questions for an hour.
And that's where you draw the line. You know, some questions we have to think, bit of introspection. I mean, doing the act is what it is. But thinking about it, you might actually have some form of disgust, some form of guilt. But people won't be willing to say that.
You know, that was kind of, if I'm honest, I wish I'd kind of set a boundary, because that was kind of the last thing I wanted, was just someone hammering me with questions after completing a really long, hard day. It's personally not how I would have told the narrative or how I would have edited it, but it definitely made for a very interesting watch.
I mean, how would you tell it? You've been given plenty of platform, plenty of options to tell your story, but someone catches a moment where you show, you know, some emotion. Oh, nah. I was just joking. I was just kidding. That was for the cameras. So as we continue on with this, unfortunately, people just don't even want to state the obvious. They don't want to say she's just about that cash, easy money, you know, maybe she likes it. There has to be excuses.
Essentially, she comes out of the room. It's exactly what you imagine. And they start asking her questions like, how was it? How was it? Because she's filming a documentary to go along with this to maximize the money she makes. And she quite literally broke down crying. Like the mask slipped. And she said, I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed. It felt like robotic and I'm just overwhelmed. And yeah, because there's 100 men that are ushering in there. And
that's crazy. It felt robotic on 100. And how do you think it's going to feel when you times that by 10, which is 1,000? I mean, she's going to find out because no one's stopping her. She could stop whenever she wants. But it's always the guy. It's the guys. It's the creeps, the predators.
they were pressuring her like, you promised I'd get 3 minutes, whatever it was. It was so heartbreaking to watch. Fast forward a couple of days, I'm talking to her and she's back to trying to make it seem like she doesn't care.
I don't know why they have to say it's heartbreaking. They're making choices. They are grown adults making choices, making bank too. Unfortunately, they're making quite a lot of money off of this.
And so I just called her out on that. Like, we were completely respectful. There was no reason for me to be derogatory towards her. I know that a lot of people feel very passionate, but I just basically said to her, this is a facade, and I'm aware that it's a facade because I had Amber Rose on my podcast and speaking to her about the sex industry, speaking to her about what it took for her to pretend to be confident, because she said the reason why these OnlyFans models pretend that it doesn't bother them and that doesn't disrupt their spirit is because the men want to believe you're into it, right? So if you're trying to make money and you're trying to sell a package on OnlyFans, you're like, I'm into any
kind of industry where you're acting, you have to be into it. people say how wrestling's fake. It's still a form of entertainment. They have to sell a product. I mean, again, play the violin.
1,000 guys going through me in one day, they don't want to see you crying. They don't want to see you distressed, because then it kind of takes away from their fantasy. And I called her out on that. I said, I get that you're creating a fantasy. You're doing this, obviously, I'm not going to ask you patronizing questions. You're clearly doing this for money. If Ford models knocked on your door and said, I'd like to give you a $50 million contract for modeling, you wouldn't be doing this, plain and simple. Because she tried to then say, oh no, like I actually really like doing, like I like this. She's like, I was already sleeping with a ton of guys for free. This is my thing. So dishonest, again, because she has to sell this fantasy.
What's dishonest about that, to a degree? If she's already getting her back blown out in the toilets of a nightclub, I mean, she's now said, I'm going to monetize. Already doing the act, may as well get a camera involved and make some money.
To the men that are signing up to her OnlyFans, that she's into it. And because she had this moment where she broke after she slept with 100 guys, I just want to say, like, for the guys that are signing up, the 1,000 men that are signing up to sleep with her in 24 hours, like, I view you as sexual predators. Like, now you saw the break.
Really? That's why I showed those clips earlier. She's literally begging wives and girlfriends to share their guys. I need to break a record. I mean, you can call them almost anything, but I wouldn't say that they're predators. I would say the mother who handles the finances, she's potentially a predator, and whoever else is behind, all those assistants and minions making plays, making deals, and then she's complicit. Obviously, she's old enough now. She hasn't got like a gun to her head telling her to do it. So never will you be honest.
Down, you saw the real her, the mask slipped. And if you are signing up to do that, it's because you're a pervert. There's really there's nothing else to say. She's a young girl, and
I just say you're like a Kuma, you're a horn dog. You're a pervert. She's a young. Is it illegal? What's going on? Because if it was illegal, you could make those points. But again, with weaponized language, especially towards guys, and you call them a pervert predator, I mean, that's your job on the line now. Those are words that get people in big trouble. But we just use them so loosely.
Just wants money, and you're willing to violate a woman and be one of 1,000 men to do it in one day. For what? Because of pornography,
So violation is just one way. You're not getting used to break a world record. There's no violation there. You're not saying, hey, give me your husband just for 3 minutes for 10 pumps. Give me your long-term boyfriend that you live with for 10 pumps. I mean, she's literally broadcasting it. Open calls, open auditions. But for some reason, she's the victim, obviously.
Sex addiction, because of all of the ills that we are suffering from, and because of the fact that prostitution is the oldest trade in the books. That is why she is participating in this. She even spoke to the fact that, like, her life was...
Well, if you know that it's the oldest trick in the book, then, I mean, we get it. These guys are kind of losers, I guess, if you want to throw that term out there. But again, perverted predator. Very specific language.
Made better, and she owed it to her fans. She's got a little bit of money. Somebody, I think, made an estimate online that she makes like $2 million a year. And I told her, $2 million a year, and you're going to reflect on this, how it's going to impact your children if you have them. Like, imagine going to school as a child and you have the mother who everyone knows slept with 1,000 men in one day. Just to like do the math on that, she's going to have to sleep with one man every 80.
Who cares about the math, frankly? Is the math really a problem? It's 1,000 guys one day. 1,000 ding-dongs. I mean, what? We have to get the calculator out?
6 seconds for 24 hours straight. And that's going to have to, by the way, include bathroom breaks. So, like, I don't want to imagine how that works. She's not going to be able to.
Well, in this scenario, she is the bathroom, frankly. Figuratively and maybe literally at some points.
To eat. Maybe she is going to eat. I don't know. But it is really, truly a sign of just demonic possession. I told her, like, you are possessed by a devil. And
I'd say it's just a sign of you have all these opportunities and you pick that one. We don't need to, again, blame that we've got demons in our ears. She could do plenty of other things. There is literally thousands of different jobs out there. She's chose to get her back blown out. And she's getting famous from it. And the mum's getting some cash out of it. I mean, we don't need to go too deep. We don't need to go, too superstitious on it.
It is telling you to put money ahead of your entire future. I get that you like the attention that you're getting for all of this, but it's just really sad to see what.
Well, then you're misleading again. If you understand that attention is a currency to some of these ladies, then you should just know that that's what it's all about. Or at least that's what a huge chunk of it's about.
Women have become in today's society. Lastly, Steiny asked me if I would ever go out and grab like a drink with her or, be a friend to her. And I said, no, my time is precious. She's not a person.
People, again, talk about today's society, but at the same time, they say that prostitution is the oldest, trick in the book, so to speak. So this isn't just modern times. They've been selling themselves for a very long time, not just in the 21st century. Now, this has been going on for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
That's trying to change around her life. It's different if she's like, yeah, I live this lifestyle and I really want to come out of it. There's no value in that exchange for me. It's just a mom of 3. And I was very clear to her that her mother was abusive. I was very clear to her that her mother partaking in this, her mother clearly does not love her. And there was it is, as someone who has sons and has.
So why don't you call her a pervert and a predator? Again, I bring those words up because guys will lose jobs based on that type of language.
Daughters, I actually do not have the vocabulary to express what sort of a parent you would have to be to support that. And she says that both her mother and her father support her. So anyways, definitely look out.
Well, that's another problem. Beta. Finally hear about the dad that's going to support the daughter. Whatever you do. I mean, there's obviously limits to that. You have to draw the line somewhere yourself. Anyway, we're going to leave it right there. As always, thoughts, comments, but low. And hit that like on the way out. It takes 1.5 seconds. And smash that subscribe button right now. But quick shout out to our sponsors today. Maurice with the message, thank you for content. Sad to see you don't make as much anymore. Yeah, I agree. And we have another one from Jesus. Great show, CB. Greetings from California. And where's the last one here from Nicholas? Bachelors of the Work Unite. But anyway, big thanks for that. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and wish you all a Happy New Year. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.